This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, September 6th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Exciting news for the Michael E. Bush Center for the Arts at Maryland Hall. Yes, you heard that right. Maryland Hall is changing their name. And in an email sent to supporters yesterday afternoon, Maryland Hall's CEO Margaret Davis said that she would be making an historic announcement at tonight's Arts Alive celebration. Mike Bush was a champion for the arts in the state of Maryland, as well as a dedicated supporter of Maryland Hall during his more than 30 years in the House of Delegates. Davis said, by honoring Mike, we also honor the state of Maryland and its generous ongoing support for all of our capital improvements and the new facilities to help us deliver on our commitment of art for all. There will be a full community celebration in January, which is Bush's birthday month, at which time new signage and new branding will all be revealed. What a great way to honor former Speaker Michael Bush. It's kind of an interesting story. A Baltimore man was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison after he pleaded guilty to selling heroin near Hackett's Newtowne 20 neighborhood back in 2017 that killed a Bowie woman. Corin Damon Johnson, 25, was initially charged with distribution of a controlled substance with death resulting, but that was reduced to distribution of a controlled substance before he entered his plea agreement. In his plea agreement, he said that he sold the unnamed woman 0.2 grams of heroin at the CVS near the Newtowne 20 neighborhood. The woman was found dead in her bedroom in Bowie the following day. Also in his plea agreement, Johnson admitted that he had been selling heroin since he was 19 years old, currently he's 25, and that he sells mostly in the Newtowne 20 housing complex. This is interesting. You've got a Baltimore man and a Bowie woman both feeling safe enough to buy and sell drugs in Newtowne 20 in Annapolis. That's a problem, I think. Anne Arundel County's Planning and Zoning Officer Steve Kai Ziegler has denied the final plan for the enclave at Crofton. Now, this is a development the neighbors were all opposed to because of the concerns about density, the environment, and traffic. It was a development that was scheduled to build 19 townhomes and 64 condominiums on 7 acres in the area of Route 3 and Crawford Boulevard. Kai Ziegler told a consultant for the project that he was just outright denying the application for failure to comply with the county code. While the decision to deny the application was made at the staff level, it does seem that it had the approval of the county executive. In a post to Facebook, County Executive Stuart Pittman said that he does support his staff's decision to deny the application. Kai Ziegler was appointed and hired by Pittman on July 31st. Of course, it's not the end of the road for that. The development can take that to the Circuit Court of Appeals. Hey, if you're a fan of high school sports, we've got some good news for you. Anne Arundel County Public Schools is going to begin streaming all varsity and junior varsity athletic events that take place at high school stadiums and gyms beginning this week. The school system has joined forces with the National Federation of High Schools Network and installed state-of-the-art cameras in all stadiums and gyms. The cameras are manufactured by Pixel Lot, which I'm not sure is the best name for a supposed high-def camera, but they operate on a motion detection technology that allows a single stack of lenses to follow the action and broadcast the entire width of a football field or a basketball court. If you want to catch some of those games and you're not able to do it in person, head on over to nfhsnetwork.com. And in other sports news, District of Columbia officials are planning to tear down the RFK Stadium by the fall of 2021, ending the life of the 58-year-old facility. Events DC, which is the district's agency that manages the city's sports and entertainment venues, released a request for proposals yesterday for firms to assist in the raising and demolition of the stadium. With DC United moving to the Audi Field at Buzzard Point, RFK is falling into disrepair, and they're not quite sure what comes next for the 190-acre campus. The city did recently do a conversion of one section of their parking lot into a series of athletic fields, and I noticed that when we were going into the Apollo 11 event in DC, and it looks beautiful. A lot of people are curious as to what might happen to the property, and John Falciccio, who is Muriel Bowser, D.C.'s mayor's chief of staff and currently the interim deputy mayor for planning and economic development, suggested on Twitter that the RFK site could someday become a home for new development. In his tweet, he said, "There's an opportunity for mixed-use development with a large portion being housing. If it were workforce housing and affordable housing, that would be a great way to honor the legacy of Robert Kennedy." The intrigue in D.C. But when that gets imploded, I definitely want to go down there and watch that. That will be pretty impressive. Hey, on Saturday, we are releasing yet another one of our Legacy Business Spotlight series, and this Saturday at noon, it is the Anne Arundel County Public Library. We spoke with Skip Auld about the library's history, which started back in 1921, and about how they grew to where they are today, and what's on tap for tomorrow. You will be surprised. Make sure you check that out Saturday at noon. It is Friday. We do have a list of suggestions for things you may want to consider to do this weekend. And of course, as we have every day, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. He's coming up in just 1 minute.
September 28th, the second annual Twist and Stout Festival at Quiet Waters Park along the shores of the South River. Twist and Stout, a Maryland wine, craft beer, food, and arts festival presented by the Anne Arundel County Department of Recreation and Parks along with the Maryland Wineries Association. Sample dozens of craft beers and Maryland wines. There's music all day starring the Groove Spot Band, along with the Newtowne Brass Band and Vertigo Red. Watch the Plein Air Painters and shop dozens of artisans, crafters, and food trucks. Tickets are on sale now at twistandstout.org. That's TWISTANDSTOUT.org. September 28th, Twist and Stout at Quiet Waters Park, noon till 6. Tickets at twistandstout.org. Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, September 6th. Another day of cooler temps and cloudy skies with a few showers possible as well as Hurricane Dorian finally moves by well to the east, bringing occasionally breezy conditions to the Annapolis region with highs today only in the 70s. And once the storm moves by late Friday into early Saturday morning, skies will clear nicely for the weekend from Frederick to Baltimore and Annapolis all the way to the Delmarva beaches for what should be a great weekend for everyone for anything and everything outdoors, with highs each day in the 78 to 85 degree range. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
There is a diamond of diamonds. It's from De Beers. Only 14 diamond tears in the world can touch them. Its name, Forevermark. And Zachary's is the only jeweler in the Annapolis area that has it. Not only is it beautiful and rare, it has a story, supporting women in diamond-producing areas around the world. So when you give a Forevermark diamond, you don't just give, you give back. Zachary's and Forevermark, a jeweler and a jewel. Online at zacharysjewelers.com.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
Boy, if your calendar looks anything like mine, Saturday is jam-packed. It was difficult to peel out the good things that you may want to consider, but let's get right into it. It starts tonight. We've got karaoke back on the Annapolis Peninsula. It's not at the Ebb Tide this time. No, it is at Caliente Grill, one of my favorite Latin places. Actually, I was just there last night. I had a great enchilada. Periodically, they do karaoke, and it is a blast there. It goes from 8 till midnight. They do have dinner and drink specials earlier, so go in and make a night of it. Good way to celebrate back to school, blow off some steam, and sing your heart out. Saturday's kind of a repeating event that happens about 4 or 5 times a year, but one near and dear to my heart. It is a big book sale. Yes, it's a big book sale at BIG, which is Books for International Goodwill. They have more than 70,000 books in their warehouse, covering all categories, and they're going to be on sale for $3 a piece for hardbacks, $2 for trade softbound, and $1 for pocket paperbacks. Kids' books are priced even lower. This goes from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow at Books for International Goodwill. They're at 451 Generals Highway in Annapolis. If you head out past the Home Depot and the Best Buy, it'll be in an office complex right there on your left. So if you've got a home library to stock up or you're looking to change up your reading list, that's where you should go. Sort of a startling fact, but there were at least 40 racial terror lynchings of African Americans in the state of Maryland between 1875 and 1933. And tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., they are going to be placing an historical marker near the site of the former county jail where, on December 21st, 1906, Henry Davis was kidnapped by a white mob, dragged through the streets to terrorize the black neighbors who bore witness, and lynched. After they hanged him, his murderers shot him more than 100 times, and photographs of this incident were sold as souvenirs. This historic marker will be right adjacent to the Foot Soldiers Memorial. It'll be right there near the Arundel Center in Calvert Street. At the ceremony, special guests will include County Executive Pittman, community activist Carl Snowden, the Reverend Dr. Carletta Allen, Delegate Josephine Pena-Melnick, and a representative from the Equal Justice Initiative, of which this is a partner project. I imagine that'll be quite a moving ceremony tomorrow morning at 10. It's been more than a year since a gunman shot up the Capitol Gazette newsroom, and the legacy of Wendi Winters does continue. This is her third blood drive. It is happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Annapolis. That's right there by Restaurant Park next to the Green Turtle. They're hoping to have 300 donors be able to come in and donate blood in the name of Wendi Winters, and through her lifetime, she had donated over, get this, 9 gallons of her own blood. The American Red Cross did honor Wendi with a lifetime achievement for her commitment to saving lives, and her son Phoenix said the drive is being hosted because she regularly gave blood and organized blood drives. It's what she would have wanted. So if you can get out there to the Crown Plaza tomorrow between 10 and 4, please do that and give a pint for Wendi. The big event tomorrow, and Sunday actually, is the 52nd Annual Maryland Seafood Festival getting underway at Sandy Point State Park. You can still get tickets online in advance. The hours are 10 a.m. till 7 p.m., and general admission is $15. It will feature music, great food, exhibits, arts and crafts. They'll have the 29th Annual Crab Soup Cook-Off. Great fun for the whole family. It draws about 20,000 people over both days, so you'll run into visitors from all across the Mid-Atlantic region. Live music will be there, of course, chef demonstrations, seafood, all celebrating the bounty of the bay. And finally, also tomorrow, from 1 to 7 p.m., up at Arundel Mills, adjacent to Maryland Live, it is the second and a half annual Amps and Ales Craft Beer and Music Festival. I say second and a half because last year it was canceled because of a hurricane that came up. This weekend looks absolutely spectacular. Tickets are available at ampsandales.com or at the gate. As far as drinks, they're going to have a beer bar, a whiskey bar, a mixed drink bar, a wine bar, and a call bar. They're going to have 9 separate food trucks, and as far as being able to play, they're going to have Namaste and Rosé, wine yoga class, shark attack simulator, surfboard rides, grand slammer, human bowling game, gladiator jousting games, yard games, and much more. You're going to have a DJ playing throughout the day. Higher Hands and Friends will be playing from 2:30 to 4:30, and from 5 to 6:30, it's going to be Jawworks. You'll have vendors there to be able to shop and everything else, and this is sort of being billed as an adult's day off. It is a 21 and over, so please leave your kids at home. They're not really going to have a good time there, and to be honest, they're probably not really welcome. But that looks like a fun little mix-up, little different kind of a festival up there at Arundel Mills. All right, that is about it for the weekend. That's plenty to do. Take your pick of one or more of them. Have a great time. Please do it safely. We will see you here on Monday, and have a great weekend.
Suicide prevention starts with everyday heroes like you. Join us Saturday, September 21st at the Navy Marine Corps Stadium in Annapolis as we walk to fight suicide. Be a part of the movement turning hope into action. Funds raised will benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Annapolis. Together, we can help stop suicide. Go to afsp.org/Annapolis.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.